there is the sound of abundance of rain. And there wasn't a drop of rain, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. So he goes up onto the mountain to pray, and when he goes to pray, he sends his servant 7 times to look at the sky, and he said, first time he comes back, there's nothing in the sky. There's not a cloud in the sky, but he was hearing the sound of abundance of rain. It is imperative that the man or woman of God is listening with a listening ear and hearing what God is showing them. And what God was showing Elijah was that there was a sound of abundance of rain. And if you remember when he's there, when he prays before the fire from heaven falls on the mountain, it's an extraordinary prayer, but he says these words in the prayer. He says, Lord, that these people would know that I am your bondslave, that I am your servant, your slave, and I have done all of these things at your command. The killing of the prophets was at the command of the Lord. The rebuilding of the altar was at the command of the Lord. The calling down fire from heaven was at the command of the Lord. And praying that it would begin to rain was at the command of the Lord. Now, it's not recorded when God told him that, but him praying, and I've done all these things at your command, is a proof positive that he was in obedience to what the Lord was showing him when he was secretly hidden away, being fed of the Lord and provided for by the Lord. The ravens came and fed him, and he's there hidden away. And the Lord is speaking to him and telling him and one moment the Lord says, okay, it's time, go on and go. And he goes and he reveals himself to Obadiah and then to Ahab, and all of that takes place. So now he runs up onto the mountain and he begins to pray. 7 times he prays. You would have thought that he was going to see it instantaneously, and as soon as he went up on the mountain and sent his servant, he would say, go tell me what you see. And he goes and he looks over the ocean. They're up on a mighty high place, and they're looking out over the Mediterranean, and you would have thought he'd come back and say, there is a massive storm coming in. No, that's not what he says. There's nothing. And then on the 7th time he said, there is a cloud the size of a man's hand. When he talks about that cloud the size of a man's hand, it is unclear if it means that it was in the shape of a hand or if it was actually about the size of a hand. But either way, it makes no difference to me whether it was the shape of a man's hand or if it was whatever it was. There was a cloud suddenly, and he immediately gets up and he runs, and he tells them, hasten quickly because you're about to have a deluge and it's going to overtake you. And the waters are going to overtake you.